guys, so I know that everything's been a little bit crazy right now for Abilene with everything going on, but the City of Abilene Parks and Recreation Department wanted to give you a little bit more videos to view online, some more education, maybe some more fun that you can find at home, and you can incorporate your whole family with this. And so we're actually with Texas Parks and Wildlife. This is Natalie. Say hi, Natalie. And we wanted to do some videos, fish fun, just to give a little bit more education on some fishing and maybe what to bring when you go fishing, just learn about the fish anatomy. So we're gonna separate this into separate videos so you can learn a little bit more about it. And the first and foremost is what to bring.
Right.
So I'm definitely going to need your help here explaining.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what do we need to bring?
So if you're new to fishing, I know when you walk through those aisles in your sports stores that it can be really overwhelming if you're not familiar with what you're looking for. There's a lot of stuff. They make a lot of noise. They're pretty shiny. They make sounds. They're flashy. And if you're going out there fishing for the first time, maybe you don't even need any of these lures. Maybe you just go with something simple. Your simple hook, use some split shots to kind of weight your hook down in a bobber. That's all that you need. And then
this is kind of like the example of like a good first starter, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Gotcha. So you have your hook on there, maybe about 6 inches higher. You put your split shot on, and then you just adjust your bobber so that you're fishing wherever you want to.
So then that's, I guess, the hook and the bobber. What else? Because we got a lot of other things here.
So what I'm going to recommend bringing, probably some stuff that you even have in your home that you can put on your hook.
Okay.
So things like corn. I know there's frozen corn and corn in the can. Either one of those are going to work great. Bring some of those out. You might have some hot dogs that you have frozen. Those are great, especially for some of your catfish. If you get an opportunity, you can even go and get some worms or something like that. Any of those are going to work for a bunch of the fish that are going to be in our local ponds.
And then we also have just knowing the regulations too. Here.
Regulations are huge. So I know that those books are a little bit scarce right now, but we've actually made an outdoor annual online. So there's an app so that you're never without your rules and regulations.
Awesome, that's helpful.
So another thing that we're going to recommend bringing is maybe a fish identification book. You know, this is another opportunity for you and your family to learn a little bit more about the fish that are out there. They come in different shapes and colors, and a lot of these books, you can actually identify what you're catching and learn a little bit about them. So we really recommend, if you're going to go out there and you're not familiar with the fish, have some kind of fish identification with you.
And then you also say like some food, water.
Right, because you can't just bring your tackle box. You're going to need to have a couple of other items because you never know what you're going to find yourself in once you get out to the pond. You might decide you're having such a great time out there that you don't want to leave. Let's say your family gets a little bit hungry or thirsty. We always recommend bringing food and snacks.
Always good to stay hydrated.
Absolutely. And now that the weather is starting to warm up a little bit more, those bugs might be coming out. So bring your bug spray, and if you're out there for a while, bring some sunscreen, first aid kit, just because you never know. And then also protect yourself, wear hats and glasses. Also, that's really good if you have some new kids to fishing, you know, protect yourself and your eyes. Right, exactly. And you know, kids are gonna get dirty, you're gonna get dirty, and if you touch those fish, just have a rag on hand, some needle nose pliers, so if you do catch that fish, you can actually get that hook out of its mouth a little bit easier. And then the last thing we're going to recommend, if you decide that you're going to keep those fish, make sure you know what you're keeping and if you're allowed to keep it with your rule book. But also measure your fish. And we recommend bringing some kind of stringer or a cooler for you to be able to take your fish home with you.
All right, so that's a lot of good things to have on hand, because knowing myself, I would just go with the fishing pole and think, oh, I don't need anything else, and then realize that there's a lot of other things to have handy.
Absolutely. And if those kids start catching the fish, you might end up having a longer day out at the lake than you were anticipating.
And then actually, while we're talking about it, because with the social distancing right now, and want to be careful that we're still able to go out currently to our parks and go fishing. And then even you said Abilene State Park is actually kind of special because you don't need a fishing license out there. So other places you do, but at least Abilene State Park you don't. But then also with the social distancing, just naturally with fishing, you do want a good distance when casting.
Good ethical fishing. You want at least a pole distance between you and the person standing next to you.
Yeah.
And with the social distancing, maybe just add a couple more feet.
Yeah.
Try not to get too many people out on like fishing piers, and then be mindful of those railings because that's probably where germs and things are going to want to live. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you could share that with us. And so we'll have more videos coming out here for our fish fun. So just stay tuned. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.